What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So glad to see you guys again. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate packing and just resources and tips guide for those who are planning on moving to Korea or planning on living in Korea. The reason I'm making this video is actually that I'm seeing that a lot of my videos about teaching in Korea, like Hagwon versus public school, they've been getting quite popular recently. So I don't know if this is like an enrollment time for Epic teachers or something. I don't know, but I do have a few new subscribers to my channel, so welcome you guys. So this video is for y'all. This video is for people who are thinking of moving to Korea or who are already planning on moving there, and they kind of just want to hear some guidance on things to bring, what not to bring, and the likes and that, and like just basically resources for surviving once you arrive there. So full disclosure, I don't live in Korea anymore. I moved back. I worked there for about 18 months. I moved back like 6 months ago, so I'm living back home now, and I don't plan on going back to Korea. But I still have some gems in the noggin a bit, so I'm more than happy to share. Okay, so let's dive right into it. I'm gonna start this list off with things not to bring, and then here I'm gonna put like an asterisk next to the things. The first thing I've seen that people say sometimes they don't say is like bedding and like sheets and stuff like that, as well as towels. I will say for bedding, okay, so the situation has changed. I don't know if people are still required to quarantine upon arriving in Korea. I don't know. If they are, I recommend you bring a towel, and I recommend you bring some kind of sheet for whatever bed that you're staying on. It's not super common here, I guess, like the full-size towels or the sheets that we're used to. That being said, if you're not quarantining and you're just going straight to like an apartment, I probably still recommend bringing those stuff, because I don't know how long it's going to be until you actually go shopping for that kind of thing. And I know personally when I arrived, I wasn't quarantining or anything like that, but it was quite difficult for me because I arrived at night, and my apartment, it wasn't furnished with anything, so I didn't have like any towels or sheets. So that was really rough for me. I really wish I had brought some. I don't know, maybe your guys' schools will be more on top of it. If your school is like mine, you might have to fend for yourself a bit. So I do recommend maybe, just bring not too much, like maybe just bring like a nice full-size towel or something, and like a nice, just like a flat sheet to, for your first night there, your first few nights there, because also like who knows when you're going to be able to like shop or do any of that stuff. So it's just good to cover yourself for the first few nights. The next thing is cash. I don't exchange cash usually when I travel, like before I get to the destination, because my debit cards and my credit cards, like I have some that have no foreign transaction fees. So what I like to do is I like to go to the country where I'm going to be at and then just withdraw cash, the local currency from the ATM there, because I don't have to pay a fee for that. Some people do. Here's my thing. I'm not even going to like beat around the bush. If you're planning on moving to another country, first of all, get a bank card, a debit card that doesn't charge a transaction fee, a foreign transaction fee, and get a credit card that don't charge a transaction fee, a foreign transaction fee. So if you're planning on moving abroad, even in general, like for traveling, I recommend you should have a debit card with no foreign transaction fee, and you should have a credit card with no foreign transaction fee, because it gets really annoying after a certain point. When you move to Korea, you're not going to be able to create a bank account like that. It's going to take a while before you're able to, and you're going to need to be able to draw on some funds from back home. And if you have to worry about your foreign transaction fees, it's just going to really stress you out. Just take care of it before you leave. It just open up a bank account. They give you a debit card without a transaction fee. It's not that hard to find. Open a credit card with, that's nothing crazy, with no transaction fee. It's not that hard to find. Just take care of that and you'll be so much better off in the long term. That's my advice for that. I wouldn't worry about bringing cash if you don't have to worry about a transaction fee, because there are ATMs everywhere. But, you do what you got to do. I'm just telling you, get the cards that you need, get the bank, establish that stuff before you come here. because I'm telling you, because even after you get here, there are gonna be times where like you're gonna need your cards and stuff back home, and you're gonna really regret having to pay that transaction fee. That's actually my list of what not to bring. To be honest, my list. Oh, also when it's you guys won't do it because you're not stupid. But when I first came to Korea, I brought a fucking iron with me. Don't bring an iron with you. Like I mean, it's a good idea because I guess your clothes will get wrinkled, but don't bring an iron with you. That's such a waste of space and a waste of weight. Don't do it. Don't do what I did. But things that you should bring with you though, this is a little bit more relevant of a list. First of all, bring EpiPens. EpiPens don't exist in Korea. Like I'm so like I don't, maybe I'm misinformed, maybe I don't know, but according to what a freaking doctor told me to my face, EpiPens essentially don't exist in Korea. I know. I had an allergic reaction. I used an EpiPen that I had. I asked the doctor, where can I get another EpiPen? He basically told me you're shit out of luck. No, he didn't tell me that. He told me that like they don't have it in like the city Dongtan. You have to go to Seoul, whatever. But if you have to go to another fucking city to get, they don't have it. They don't have EpiPens. I don't know if it's a law. I don't know if it's a what. I don't know if Koreans don't have allergies. Bring EpiPens, and I'm not kidding. If you have an allergy where you need EpiPens, bring at least 3 of them. Bring at least 2 of them, but bring at least 3 of them. Because once you get here, you're not getting your hands on EpiPen. It's just not gonna happen. Especially if you have allergies to nuts and peanuts. GG to you, because they put that shit in everything. I don't care how careful you are, like in your home country, like in the U.S. Like in the U.S., it's easy because you have to label if there's nuts in it. In Korea, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. And the worst part is that it's not even just like the common culprits that you have to look out for. It's everything. They put it in pastries. They put it on top of fried pork. They put it in fucking sandwiches. They put nuts in that and that. They put it in everything. And I'm not exaggerating. That's the crazy part. I'm really not exaggerating. My advice for you, bring EpiPens. Bring as many as you can, to be honest. Be very, very clear with what your allergies are. Learn how to communicate that very well. That's very important. Like I said before, like allergies aren't really a big thing there. So like they're very nonchalant about it. I swear to God, like I got something with nuts in it and I told the waiter, like, it was like fried pork. It was tongue I didn't know they put nuts. I've never seen that before. They covered it with almonds. Almonds is everything. They covered it with almonds. I told them like, I'm allergic to almonds. I can't eat it. They was like, oh, like we can just pick it off and it'll be fine. I'm like, no, dude, that won't be fine. So that's where we're at right now. If you go to a hospital, the nurses, the doctors, like you tell them you have an allergic reaction. I'm talking from life experience. I'm not talking about because I'm talking from life experience, Mike. Get an EpiPen. Get an EpiPen. Because it's real out here, bro. It's real out here. There are wristbands that like can communicate with it in different language your allergies. I didn't get one of those, but get one of those. It's kind of lame, but get one of them, seriously. The next thing you should bring, like I said, maybe a big towel or two. Like they're not actually that hard to find. Like you can find them from Daiso and like Emart pretty easily and like online pretty easily. But like I said before, like for the first night or so, like it's nice to have if you can fit it. Extension cords. I brought extension cords with me because in general, I love extension cords. Are they the safest thing in the world? Probably not, but I like me a good extension cord. Extension cords, maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't really see extension cords in Korea. Like, I don't know if they don't do extension cords, like, in the homes, like, residential, but, like, I brought an extension cord or two, and I use those. I use those a lot. I use them a lot. Power strips, bring a power strip. It seems ridiculous, and it was ridiculous for me to bring it, but I'm going to tell you why it's not ridiculous. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to bring an extension cord, and you're going to bring a power strip, and what you're going to bring is an adapter. I'm going to hopefully put an image of the adapter on the screen here. It's like a little black adapter. Do not get the multi-use adapters that adapt in many different countries. Don't get that because they don't fit in any outlets. I got one of those, and they don't fit in they never fit in a single outlet. It was a waste of like $12. Don't do that. It's a simple, small, black adapter. It's probably around here somewhere, but I don't feel like getting up. Just get that. It's small, and you can attach it to all of your, I'm speaking from American perspective, but you can attach it to all of your plugs, and then just plug it in directly into the outlet in your apartment, and you'll be golden. You'll be gold. So you're gonna attach that to. Here's my setup. Was it the safest thing ever? No, but here's my setup. I had that attached to a power strip, right? And then I had my extension cords attached to the power strip. And then I attached stuff to the power strip, and I attached stuff to the extension cord. That's what I did. Is it the safest thing ever to do? I'm okay right now, right? So yeah, bring adapters. Adapters are super, super, super important. Bring adapters to fit the Korean outlets, then bring adapters to fit your American outlets, because if you go the route of bringing your American extension cords and your power strips, you're gonna eventually get a Korean appliance, like whatever Korean appliance that they use their own plugs, and that won't work in your extension cords or your power strips if you decide to use your stuff. And so you'll probably need adapters for that. Or you can just get Korean power strips, because they do have Korean power strips. You can just get Korean power strips and attach that, and that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I just feel like the more adapters you have, the better. Especially when you go traveling in hotels, like, and you're bringing your devices and like your whatever. It's nice to have them in the airports and in the hotel. So that's actually don't forget your adapters. Do not forget your adapters. That's serious. People don't talk about that enough. Bring your fucking adapters, bro. Toothpaste. Never use Korean toothpaste. Never intended to. I hear they don't really put fluoride in it. I don't know. Bring your toothpaste. Bring your toothpaste. Bring your Aim. Bring your Crest. Bring your Colgate. Bring your toothpaste. I bought like a 6-pack or so with me. 6-pack? Or it was either a 6-pack or a 3-pack. And it lasted me, swear to God, it lasted me the entire time. And like, by the time I was ready to leave, I was just finishing my last tube. Swear to God. Don't regret that at all. Bring it. Medicines you rely on. The thing is, they have it in Korea, but the thing is, it's like, you don't really necessarily want to deal with that in your first few months. You just want to have it like handy with you. So bring your extra strength Tylenol, your Aleve. I hear Pepto is a big thing that foreigners wish they had more of in Korea. So bring your Pepto-Bismol if you need that. Tums is a big thing. Bring your Tums if you need that. Apparently they're super expensive in Korea. Deodorant. You're gonna see a lot of mixed opinions on bringing deodorant. I brought my own deodorant. I bought like a 6-pack from Amazon, or a 3-pack. I don't know. From Amazon, like, because I use Old Spice and I didn't really know how common Old Spice is. You can find it online, like on Coupang or whatever. But I bought it, and I'm glad I bought it, because I'm sure it was cheaper, like, me bringing it than just buying it at the store. If you want to risk it for deodorant, you can. I suggest that if you're a Westerner like I am, I suggest that you don't fuck around and you just bring your own deodorant, because I think they do have Dove and stuff like that here, but in Korea. But do you want to run out of deodorant in the middle of the night and have to deal with that? I don't think so. Next thing, your choice brands of skincare, lotions, and oils. They have lotions and oils there, of course, but do they really? Like, they have Nivea and stuff like that. If you have dry skin, like I have dry skin, if you have eczema the way I have eczema, bring your stuff. Bring your oils, bro. Bring your castor oil. Bring your cocoa butter if you need it. Bring your petroleum jelly. Bring petroleum jelly. They have petroleum jelly here, but they have them in the small tubs, and they're kind of expensive. I recommend, if you're a big user of petroleum jelly, bring a big jar and just bring that, and you'll be good. And then when you run out, you can just buy it here, but just bring the big jar with you. If you need something, like if you have your brand of lotions, bring your brand of lotion. If you're not just using regular like whatever lotion you can find, you have to bring your own. Like, bring your Jergens, bring your Nivea, bring your Gold Bonds, because they don't really got that shit here. At least easily accessible from what I can tell. Anything hair related, if you have non-Asian hair, bring it, because bring your Afro picks. Bring 2 Afro picks. I only brought 1 Afro pick with me to Korea. Thank God it lasted. Bring 2. Bring your little brush that you use to brush your hair, like the hand brush. You know what I'm talking about. Bring your hand brush. Bring that. Bring your hair sponge. Bring that. Bring literally whatever hair products that you need, that you know that you need, that you like, that if you have like black hair or thick hair like this, bring your hair products. You're not gonna find it here. Like, you might find it here, but you're not gonna find it here. Don't mess with me on that one. Bring your shampoos. Bring your conditioners. Bring your grease. Bring it here, because you're gonna need it, bro. And the water here isn't very good. So, in the water, I keep saying here, but the water in Korea apparently is pretty hard, depending on where you are, I guess. So bring it. Shoes, I don't know what the sizes are for women, but if you're a man and your feet are bigger than like 10 and a half, 11, bring your own shoes, because it's going to be very difficult for you to find shoes of that size. Like, I'm only 10 and a half, and like I'm like at the upper limit of like 280 millimeters. So if your feet are bigger than that, bring your own stuff. Feminine products, like I can't speak on it, but from what I've seen, like if you have your choice brand of like tampons and stuff like that, just bring it. It seems quite limited here in Korea. I don't know, but just bring it, and then pray to God from there. Try to find it online if you're like, once you run out. I've heard contacts are pretty cheap in Korea, but just in case, bring your contacts if you need it. If you have a favorite skincare product or makeup product, if you have a dark complexion, you need your foundation for makeup, bring it, because I don't think they cater to dark complexions here. Skincare products are pretty good in Korea, but again, like if you know you need something specific, just bring it, because you probably won't find it in Korea. I hear sunscreen can get pretty expensive, so just bring that if you're really big into sunscreen. Games like Uno, Cards Against Humanities, bring those if you can fit them, because the ones here in Korea are just, I keep saying here, when I'm saying here, but I'm not in Korea. The ones in Korea, they're all in Korean. So clothes, if you have any sort of like shape to your body, if you have like a Western type body, if you don't have like an Asian type body, bring enough underwear and like bras and like tops and stuff like that, and pants especially. Bro, bring pants especially. Like if you have legs like me and you can't really fit into like even regular jeans like in the US, like H&M jeans, like you're gonna need to bring your own pants, bro. As far as like your personal appliances go, like phone and laptops, if you need a new one before you come to Korea, I recommend you just buy it before you go to Korea, because those kinds of devices are quite expensive in Korea. If you're not buying them secondhand, like if you're buying just from the store, from like the regular stores, like they're really expensive, especially laptops. Whoa, especially fucking laptops. It's insane. You would think it's cheaper there. You would think Samsung is cheaper there. Nope. Expensive. Will set your ass back. And it'll be in Korean, so you have to deal with that. And then the last thing you should definitely bring your own is food. If you have a food that's like comforting, bring it. Like if it'll of course survive the trip, and you don't need to refrigerate it, bring it. Like I'm talking like snacks like Doritos and like Reese's and cereals. They have like Doritos here, but they have like that. They have like some American snacks here, but like it's a catfish. It's a pure catfish. Like it's not the same. Korean Doritos are like absolutely horrible. Granted, they're not that hard to find like American snacks in Korea. Like I'm gonna later on in my video, I'm gonna talk about it where you can find those things. But just to kind of hold you over, I definitely recommend bringing like those things that are really comforting to you, like those kinds of foods. Seasonings. Oh my god. Seasonings, probably if you cook your food with seasoning, bro. Bring it. Like I'm not even joking with that, and that's not even going to be easy to find. So like unless you get it the first time you come here, you're probably not going to really find it again. I'm talking about like sason, like Goya. If you need like your Goya seasonings or your adobo, bring it. Specific herbs, bring it. Like slap your mama season, like if you have a special vegetable or meat season, bring it. Lemon pepper, bring it. Lari seasoned salt, bring it. Because whoa, like they have seasonings here, but like you're not gonna the seasoning that you like to put on your food, you're not gonna find it. Like I found sason, like the sason, but I had to get that shit delivered, and it cost like $20 for like a box of it, and it took like 3 weeks to arrive. So bring 2 boxes of that shit, 3 boxes of the jumbo size. Bring a thing of adobo. Okay, so that's about mostly as far as like things to bring. Things that you won't find, period. These are things that like I swear to God, like I spent like the entire 18 months looking for, or like I didn't realize that I couldn't find it until like I got back home and I was like, damn, I haven't had this like in the whole 18 months I was there. First of all, good sausages, good Italian sausages, you're not gonna find it, period. Don't even like, you're not gonna find good sausages, period. I went through Coupon, I went through supermarkets, I went through online, I saw butchers, I went through like a freaking place in I can't remember the neighborhood of Seoul. I went to a place in Seoul that like specializes in sausages and like meats and stuff like that. You're not gonna find good sausages. And I'm not even talking about like world class sausages. I'm talking about like Stop and Shop, like level Italian sausages. You're not finding that. Like you're not finding that. I don't know what it is, but you're not finding that. Even if you have the flavor, you're not gonna get like the juiciness of it. If you have the juiciness, you're not gonna get you're not finding it. The best you'll get is probably like the Johnsonville sausages, but like you're not getting Italian. You're not give it up. Hang it up. You're not getting it. There's not a large like my list is gonna be heavy on the food. Like so, if you're not interested in food and stuff like that, I'm so sorry. You're not gonna find a good selection of like meats. Turkey wings. Say if you like yourself a good turkey wing, like roasted turkey wings or smothered turkey wing, you're not finding turkey wings. I'm so sorry, you're not finding turkey wings. You ain't finding collard greens nowhere. So ethnic foods, you're not finding it. You're not finding no collard greens. You ain't finding what else you not finding. You can find like you can finesse some cornbread if you need. You can finesse some cornbread. You can finesse some mac and cheese. You're not finding good cheese, but you can finesse some mac and cheese if you need to. Plantains. This was the thing that hurt me the most. Like I swear to God, I spent days trying to source me some plantains. Like I went all over the Itaewon, like African markets and Caribbean markets and East Itaewon. Like I went. You ain't finding good plantains. I'm so sorry. You're not finding. Don't. You will look online. You will look online. You will search for where can I find good plantains, and well-meaning folk on the internet will tell you, oh, go to the East One Foreign Mart because they have some in the back, whatever in the box. They're not plantains. They're like little bananas. Like they're not plantains. They're not what you're looking for. They're not what you're looking. They're not tostones. They're not like the sweet. They're not what you're looking for. Don't know what to tell you. They're not what you're looking for. That actually hurt me the most because like I live on plantains, so like I don't live on plantains, but like plantains are pretty important to me. So you're not gonna find it. Most fruits and vegetables, apart from potatoes and carrots and scallions and like maybe 3 or 4 types of mushrooms, you're not finding most vegetables and most fruits. I feel like you're not finding like more than you find like a regular potato and like maybe the sweet potato, but not the sweet potato that you're necessarily used to, but like the Korean sweet potato. Yams I think is what I'm looking for. You're not gonna be really finding yams. You're not finding yucca. You're not finding yauti. You're not finding many types of greens. You're not finding many types of fruit. I feel like produce is a big one. Produce is a big one, and that's the most difficult to get around because that shit like needs to be imported, and there's heavy regulations around that. So like, I've heard apples are expensive. Uh, so if you're big into produce like fruits and vegetables, like and not just like the regular fruits and vegetables, you're gonna have a really tough time. You're really gonna have a tough time. Like that was the biggest thing that like was tough for me, to be honest. Comfort foods from fast food places that you expect to be there won't be there. Like KFC in Korea doesn't have gravy, doesn't have mashed potatoes, I believe, doesn't have mac and cheese. I hear Taco Bell isn't very good. What else? You're not finding good American Chinese food. That's something else I searched high and low for. You're not finding good American Chinese food. Your best bet is Panda Express, and there's 1 or 2 in all of Korea, I believe. So when I tell you I was struggling, bro, I was struggling there. You're not finding good bread there. You maybe find like a lot of, they sell like they're big into the baguettes and that kind of stuff, but you're not finding like even simple like Italian hero breads or rolls. You're not finding that there. Things that should be sweet like cupcakes and like cakes and stuff like that. Like you'll find cakes and stuff like that, but they won't be the cakes that you think that the cakes that you're looking for. They won't be that. You're not finding good cupcakes. You're not finding those super sugary like sugar cookies with the frosting on it from the supermarket, like the really cheap ones. You're not finding that. Like small things that like make you happy. You're not finding that. Cold cuts, you're not finding good cold cuts. Waffles, like Eggo waffles, like toaster waffles, you're not finding that. Breakfast foods in general, you're not really finding great breakfast foods. Good chicken, I find that chicken either comes as like a small whole chicken, like a very small whole chicken that's kind of like, it seems like a young chicken, which I don't like, or it comes like as like 6 pieces of like drumsticks, and they're quite small and they're kind of expensive. You'll be hard pressed to find like a thing of chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are not easy to find for some odd reason. Chicken breasts are fucking everywhere, but chicken thighs not easy to find. Chicken leg quarter is even harder to find. I actually have to outsource. I have to find my chicken from like, I'll tell you a bit later in the video, but like dark meat chicken is not that easy to find. Like that's for a good price. A lot of meat in general. I don't know if I mentioned a lot of meat in general. Like it won't be very easy to find like goat meat. Like I said, turkey meat. Duck is not super hard to find. Pork is not hard to find. Steak isn't really hard to find. Seafood, you're not going to find a huge selection of seafood, especially like in your local supermarket. You'll get like, shrimps and like squid and like some fishes here and there, but you're not finding like a huge selection of seafood. Like large pieces of meat, you're not going to be finding large pieces of meat. Like I said before, you'll see the whole chickens, but like they won't be like, think of the grocery store whole chicken that you'll see like just in the grocery store. They won't be that size. They'll be like half that size. Like the whole pork shoulder as well, like the big pork shoulder, you're not finding that. You'll find like strips of pork shoulder, but you're not finding a big chunk of pork shoulder like that. Just any large piece cut of meat, you're not finding that. You're finding that you're gonna find them like cut up. Some things that you won't get used to, let's dive in there. There's gonna be corn. There's gonna be a lot of corn hidden around, usually in pizza. Pizza is gonna be very, very hit or miss. Usually miss. There'll be places where you're gonna find good pizza, but like they're gonna be places like Gino's Pizza. Like they won't be the places that are near you is what I'm saying. Like you have to travel to like Seoul to find good pizza. There's gonna be a lot of sugar in things. Things are gonna be sweeter than you're expecting. You're gonna taste jelly randomly in a lot of things. I had a sandwich once. The worst sandwich I ever in my fucking life. There was like mayo and like it seemed like relish in it. There was like a sweet jam in it. There was ham in it. There was lettuce in it. There was like onions in it. And then under all that abomination, there were fucking almonds in it. So prepare yourself for that. Mayo's gonna make a few appearances on things that it doesn't necessarily should be on. Garlic bread. You're gonna be hard pressed to find good garlic bread. It's gonna be absurdly sweet. You're gonna notice in supermarkets people are gonna be talking on loudspeakers, unnecessarily loud and just ridiculously annoying. Buses, you'll feel like you're in NASCAR every now and then when you're on the bus. Your transitioning to summers will be very, very uncomfortable. There is an aversion. I don't know if it's a government thing to like air conditioning. Or dare I say there's just like a love of warmth for some strange reason. Whereas like when you're transitioning from the cold to the warm, a lot of places and bus drivers are slow on the uptake. Like it'll be 80 degrees outside and the AC won't be on and the windows will be closed. And you'll be sweating on the bus to Seoul and you're just gonna have to fucking sweat there. You're gonna go to the mall and it'll be hot as fuck. So you're gonna prepare for that. In winter also it'll be still very, very warm, sometimes warmer than summer. Heat will be blasting unnecessarily. You'll be on the bus with your coat on. You have to take it off because it's really, really warm. So just prepare for that. It's gonna feel like 80 degrees most of the time. Oh, okay. So let's go towards the end of the video. Websites. Coupang will save your life. Coupang is like Amazon but better, faster, cheaper. It's like $3 a month for like Rocket Pay, and you don't even need rocket shipping. That's just like regular shipping is already very fast. That's where I got a lot of my groceries from. They deliver like in like a cooler box with like a thing. It's really cool. They take a picture when they deliver it. The mobile site is garbage. Just use the desktop site or the app. You need a Korean bank account for that, so you probably won't be using it for a while unless you know someone who has access to it. Gmarket, you'll probably use Gmarket for online things until you get your Korean bank account because they do take American cards and PayPal, I believe. So that'll be like a good, intermediary, but shipping isn't as fast. And it's just kind of a little bit more shady overall. If you need jeans, if you need American size clothing, American Eagle, they're dwindling down by the fucking year apparently, but American Eagle, find yourself an American Eagle, get yourself a good pair of jeans that'll fit. Uniqlo as well. Uniqlo has good size clothing for your Western bodies. Shijang Market is a website. It's a website, but there's also like a foreign market in Itaewon that's like, I'm pretty sure they're the same thing. Shijang Market, it has all your foreign needs. Like this is where I got a lot of my meat from. This is where I got a lot of like my snacks and like my foreign products. So that's a good place. Market Curly, they have also a lot of foreign stacks there. Like you can get stuff delivered, like Cinnabon and that kind of thing. Delivery apps. There's a lot of delivery apps where you can get food delivered to your house. Delivery is much cheaper in Korea. There's not a bunch of fees tacked onto it. It's literally you just pay for your food for the most part, and maybe like a delivery fee. Coupang Eats is like probably the best in general, and they have an English app. But the other one is Padali Minjok, which is good, but you do need, I believe, Korean for that. Another website, Naver Jungro, I don't know how to say it. I forgot, but it's a great place for secondhand stuff. You probably won't be using it upon arrival, but it's a really great place to buy secondhand stuff. I got my phone from that place for a really good deal, and I got my camera that I'm using now in that place for a really good deal. Only downside is that you'll need a good amount of Korean, or you need someone to help you with organizing like meetup or whatever, because it's all in Korean. Carrot is a local buying and selling app. It's very, very good. I love it a lot. I've sold many things on Carrot, like my bikes and stuff like that. I've bought in many things like bikes, my Instant Pot on Carrot. It is also Korean heavy, but it's much easier to translate and work with, I guess, if that makes sense. Like if you use it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's a very user friendly app. I enjoyed it a lot. But again, that's something you're probably gonna get into the longer you're in Korea. Places that you should really have bookmarked on your map: Emart, great place. It's like they call it like a Korean Walmart. It's not a Korean Walmart, but it's close enough. Home Plus, similar to Emart. Daiso, everyone knows Daiso. It's like a 99-cent store, but like I guess higher quality, less variety, but good stuff, very good stuff. You can get a lot of things from Daiso, like not furniture wise, but like cleaning wise, like paper towels, like plants. You can get surprising number of things from Daiso. Olive Young is a great place to get like skin products, like body lotions and stuff like that. So they have like certain medicines there. They also have snacks there that you don't really find in many other places in Korea. So that's very interesting. There's Costco's there. You can get a Costco membership. They're cheaper than the US ones. IKEA is also there as well if you want to furnish your home with it. And then the last section of this video, I'm going to go over some resources that I think you should really know about it. First of all, some Facebook groups. Like there are many foreigners in Korea Facebook groups that you can join. There's like local ones probably for your city that would be very helpful for you. They have a lot of updated news sometimes. There's a teaching in Korea and also just a general Korea subreddit. Also a great place to get like to stay updated on what's happening. Also a great place if you have any questions, because most times someone would have asked it already, and so you can just search up for like that question and those answers. Yonhap News is a website where there's a Korean one and there's an English one. The Korean one is obviously like the real one, but then the English one is like a lot more watered down, and I'm like 89% sure that it's not the same news that the Koreans see. But it's a good place to kind of get like your general news. It's like surface level news, like just short articles, just to let you know what's going on in the country for the most part. And then the last thing I want to mention, the last two things I want to mention. First of all, phone. I recommend go to T World, get a prepaid plan for T World. Very, very simple. All you need to do is have an unlocked phone. You can get a SIM card, and what you do is every month you top up your phone plan. The minimum is 5,000 won, which is like $5, and all that does is just keep your number active. It adds more minutes to your plan, but like if you don't make calls, then that number is just going to accumulate. You're primarily adding money just to keep your phone number active, and then you can also add data with that as well. I used to basically spend like 5,000 won just to keep my number every month and add minutes to my calling, and then I would add data every like month and a half. I did like 5 gigabytes of LTE, which cost like maybe $30 or so. So I just did that every now and then. I recommend doing that once you get your ID card, your Korean ID card, and once you get your bank account set up, because you'll need all the names information to match up, or else you're going to run into huge problems with verifying your information later on websites. Trust me. And then the last thing, banking. It doesn't really matter what bank you use. Just use something that's like that probably your school recommends, something that's like easy, something that's common. a few things, a few ones like KB Bank. That's what I use. It's very no frills. It's just they give you the debit card and make sure that it's connected to your T Money account, so you can just use it on the bus and subways. And then you can download the app, so you can send money through your app and check your balance, stuff like that. So that's really cool. There's a bunch of banks, so just like you can do light research. It doesn't really matter. Probably just stick with whatever bank that your coworkers are using, so like they can help you out or whatever. So it's not a huge deal. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of my video. It's pretty long, but I just want to give you guys like things that it took me a long time to realize and things that I got help with when I first arrived. Also, you want to know, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try to give you like the best answer I possibly can. And of course, for my list, it's just like take what you need from it. Like, don't bring everything I said, but also don't not bring everything I said. Like, just take what you need from it. If you know that you use all the spices, bring your spices. If it depends on your personal situation and how important these things are to you. I personally think that my list is the best compared to other people's list on YouTube, but I don't know, it's just me. But anyway, I hope this is useful. Don't overthink it at the end of the day. Like, it's not that hard to find things in Korea. Like, the things that you can't find in Korea are probably things that you couldn't have brought anyway from your country. So if it makes you feel any better, and worst case scenarios, you can just buy stuff when you get to Korea. Like, it's honestly not that big of a deal. That's like my biggest piece of advice. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Don't pack so much. Don't bring don't bring so much stuff, because it'll just be stressful, and you probably most likely won't end up using it. You'll probably just buy new stuff anyway. So just don't overthink it. Just follow this list, and I don't know, just use your better judgment, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.